Next is blessing supplication. Yet it's just one verse describes Lord Jigta Sumbun is the embodiment of the Buddhas of the three times. The Buddha of the Nagakulapara and the Devamkara of the Buddhas of the past. And Maitreya Buddha, the future Buddha, and our present Buddha Shakyamuni. So he is the embodiment of all these Buddhas. And as well, the rebirth of the Nagarjuna, the great masters who promoted Buddha's teaching in the world for vast and infinite way. So that we repeat this prayer 3 times. You are the Buddhas, Nagakulapura and Devamkara of the past, Maitreya of the future, Shakyamuni of the present, the reincarnation of Nagarjuna, the peerless Ratna Shri, Lord Jigten Songgun, I supplicate to you. You are the Buddhas, Nagakulapura and Devamkara of the past, Maitreya of the future, and Shakyamuni of the present, the reincarnation of Nagarjuna, the peerless Ratna Shri,
Lord Jigten Sumgun, I supplicate to you. You are the Buddhas Nagakula Pratipa and Dipamkara of the past, Maitreya of the future, and Shakyamuni of the present, the reincarnation of Nagarjuna, the peerless Ratna Shri. Lord Jigten Sumgun, I supplicate to you.
So these say taking refuge, cultivating bodhicitta, and repeating the mantras and supplication. It makes our mind connect to Buddha. In this case, Lord Jigten Sumgun. He was, as you know, he was enlightened at Buddhahood when he was 35. Since then, he taught all the teachings for hundreds and thousands of the disciples. So now, just to connect with our supplication, devotion, we receive the full empowerment. First, if I say a few words on this, as we have visualization, Lord Jigten Sumgun in front of us, as not as a substantial body, but an insubstantial body, like a rainbow body, wisdom, nature, compassion. So from his forehead, white light manifests or emanate, dissolve into our forehead. That white light, the essence, the wisdom of all the Buddha's body, wisdom body. So when that light enter into our forehead, we meditate, the light pervades our entire body, purifies all the obscuration, negative karma related to our body, receive the base empowerment, wisdom body. We meditate our body, turn into wisdom body, clear, vivid. You can visualize whatever item you have, Tara, Rintara, Chendrasi, anyone you have. Your body turn into that. And then from Jigten Sumgun's throat, red light, the wisdom speech of all the Buddhas emanate and dissolve at your throat. That light pervades your entire body and mind, purifies all the obscurations, negative karma related to our speech. We receive the secret empowerment. Then from Jigten Sumgun's heart level, blue light, which is all the Buddha's wisdom mind, radiate or emanate, dissolve at your heart, pervade our entire body, especially our mind, all our mental afflictions, obscurations, negative karma related to the mind are fully purified. And we receive the Buddha's wisdom mind within us. It is called wisdom empowerment. Then from Jigten Sumgun's nipple level, the yellow light emanate, which is the called fourth empowerment. It is Mahamudra nature, total ultimate nature of the Buddha, dissolved at our navel, pervades our body, speech, mind, purifies all the subtle obscuration related to our body, speech, mind. Our mind, body, all are in one nature, the nature of the space. Then with next Lord Jigten Sumgun melt into light or dissolve into light. That light dissolves into us from the forehead and pervades our entire body, speech, mind. And that time was called the our mind and the Buddha's mind are inseparable, natural. Mind is, as mentioned, unconfined state of the mind, vast as the space. We just meditate there, relax there. Meditate without expectation. Just see that nature, relax there. This moment, all our dualistic thoughts in the state of the non-existence. We just rest there. If any thought rises, don't chase the thought. Don't feel bad about that. Don't run after the thought. Don't chase the thought. Let it come, let it dissolve like a bubble, manifest from the water, dissolve into the water. Just without losing the mind within that state. It's called mindfulness. And we meditate there. So as we chant this, light rays emanate from the Lama's body, speech, and mind,
and dissolve into my four places,
thereby
purifying the four obscurations,
destroying
the four empowerments, and planting the seeds of the four fires. Lama then dissolves into myself. My mind is now natural luminosity, emptiness.
Thank you. Now we'll say the dedication prayer. Page 3. Through both the innate virtue and the virtue accumulated in the 3 times by all
in samsara and rana, may I and all sentient beings filling space, none left out, realize the co-emergent ultimate reality and attain the final state of non-abidance in existence or peace.
This is very short. If you like, you can do this practice in the morning, in the evening. It takes about 10-15 minutes, Okay. Okay. We're studying the Heart Sutra. I was explaining some relate to the Heart Sutra. Because Heart Sutra is short. It is short, but it's very profound and vast. It contains all, and the paramita teaching, the most vast has 12 volumes, I think. And then there's called 80,000 verses on big volume. And then there's called Damen Khatar. There's about 300 verses. This is only 25 verses, very short. But it contains all its meaning, essence of it. Yeah, that's what it's called, Heart Sutra. And the glorious lady, as I mentioned, I think it's a glorious mother, Paramita, seems more related. That's the other dimension, Paramata as a mother, she has 4 sons, Sharavaka, Buddha, Bodhisattva, and Buddha. All these 4 sons are born from this wisdom. That's how it is. And then yesterday I read some of these. Maybe I'll repeat. I can read this. Here, noble Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva Mahasattva said to Shariputra, asked the question: how should a son of noble family or a daughter of noble family train? He said, it's called train. It's very important word. Training, not just knowing. This everything is empty. Still, we are grasping. We are so fixated in the duality. Those who have not, we're just only conceptualizing. Even those who have studied and those who have not understand this, of course, in that nature. Those trains, train who wishes to practice the profound pranja paramita. So pranja paramita. Some translation they do this way. Transcendental wisdom. In Sanskrit, pranja is wisdom, and paramita is go beyond. When you separate these syllables, you do this way. Param ita. Param means beyond. other side. Ita means to go there. So to go from the samsara to nirvana by the wisdom. So this is the wisdom which realized emptiness. Now, emptiness, there are two types of the person, emptiness of the person self and emptiness of the phenomena self. Person self is like me, I, the individual self, I, all have I, it's a person self. I go, I do this, I myself holding something independent, person self. And then phenomena self, this book, table, all we identify every individual things. This is that phenomena self. So person self, now here I will read this, so that's the pranja paramita. So profound means nature of the emptiness. So noble Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva said to Venerable Shariputra, O Shariputra, a son of noble family or the daughter of noble family, who wishes to practice the profound pranja paramita, should see in this way. They see the 5 skandha as we went through. I don't have to repeat that. Skandhas to be empty by nature. So empty by nature, as I mentioned, we are not making empty, but their nature itself is empty. On themselves, it's empty. We just need to realize it. We are not making empty, but we realize the emptiness of that. So nature is empty. How to be empty by nature. So then how this form is emptiness. Emptiness also this. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. In this translation, as yesterday mentioned, I have some doubt. Emptiness is no other than form. We should start. Form is no other than emptiness. And emptiness is no other than form. Translation, maybe you have to check. You read other translations. Okay, so this shows basically non-duality, nature. What we see, their nature being empty, inseparable. So what that means is we're not negating, we're not denying things. What we see are just nothing empty, inseparable of the emptiness in it. Emptiness and appearance. Yeah. In the same way, feeling, discrimination or perception, formation and consciousness are emptiness. Thus, Shariputra, all phenomena are empty by nature. And these are the 8 which describes about the emptiness. The emptiness and without characteristics, without arising, without ceasing, without stand, not without stand. This means we're not making empty. By nature, it's empty. So they're saying not without stand. So without increase, without decrease, without increase. These are the 8 characteristics of the emptiness, or their function within the emptiness. In other words, within an emptiness, it's just all pervading. There's nothing to increase, there's nothing to decrease. All manifestation dissolve into emptiness. From emptiness, everything manifests, inseparable. But there's nothing to make it better or worse as it is. The realization of that is the way how to dissolve our duality, nature, grasping. So basically, emptiness means there's nothing to grasp, nothing to hold on. So just let go. Manifest and let go. This way, the direct purpose is to free from all the confusion and the suffering. And he said, therefore, Shariputra, let's see here, so yes. And therefore, Shariputra, in emptiness, there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, or no perception, no formation, no consciousness. So this is the 5 skandha. So from the 5 skandha, and we multiply into 12 increasing field. So this is the 12 increasing field. No eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no mind. It is the subject consciousness. And the object, no form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no tangible object, and no phenomena. So this is the 12 increasing field. Then there comes 18 dhatu, multiply from 12 to 18 dhatu or 18 elements. No eye dhatu, up to no mind dhatu, no mind, no dhatu of phenomena, no mental consciousness dhatu. So this is the 18 dhatu or 18 elements. And yesterday we went through more detail about this, no ignorance. And no ignorance, we go through from ignorance to formation, consciousness, so forth, until aging and death. Well, we should count that way. And no termination means no exhaustion, ignorance. Once you exhausted ignorance, when you see the ignorance, nature is nothing but empty. Then all the rest, our link to the samsara, is dissolved. But therefore, no termination or no exhaustion of ignorance up to no aging and death. And no termination of aging and death. So this is the 12 interdimensional link. How we wander in the samsara. So through this, on this. Hence, no suffering, no origin of suffering. So no suffering, no origin, so it means no origin of suffering, no cessation of suffering, no path. This is the Four Noble Truths. See? So this will all allow us to see nature, selflessness, person, selflessness, phenomena, selflessness. And when you realize there's no person, self, no phenomena, self, all pervading nature just manifest, dissolve into emptiness. As yesterday I mentioned, the example, cloud appear in the sky, dissolve into the sky. We cannot hold on the cloud. For the sky, the space is empty, just empty. Within that sky, all the different types of cloud manifest, but dissolve into the sky. Like the wave of the ocean manifests from the ocean, dissolve into the ocean. There's nothing to hold on. Likewise, in our mind, all different thoughts, positive thoughts, negative thoughts, all just manifest. They manifest from emptiness. Of course, there's a causes condition. If you want to go to markets in the morning, or today I have to go to the market. I need this. It's manifest from emptiness. And then with that, you go to market and do anything what you want and come back and you say, I'm done. All dissolve into emptiness. So that is just let go. Good thoughts comes, dissolves into emptiness. Negative thought comes, that let dissolve into emptiness. So in that way, there's no grasping, but not entangled. What difficult is that our habits are ingrained so much in the habit, so that what ingrained habitual tendency difficult to release. So the practice means let that disappear, not attached to this, not grasping, or no aversion, no resentment. That is all gone. That's how our practice. But we need this, not just philosophy. Sometimes people say, Buddhists believe this. It's kind of like a belief system. No? Buddhists believe there's no self. No. Buddhists believe emptiness is something like Buddhists made it up. No? That's not the case. It's the reality, nature, how it functions in that way. We, within that, without understanding about this, we are so involved with our duality in the samsara. With many lifetimes, life after life, life after life. In the jewel ornament of liberation mentioned at this section of the spiritual master. So, why we need spiritual master, why we need to practice. That in that said, we are so involved in the samsara, and we're so much attached to the samsara, this life. Spiritual masters who are qualified help us to acknowledge these what are the cause of suffering, and spiritual master will help us how to purify them, how to reduce this confusion and see on nature. But there's nothing place go outside of us. We just need to see. There's 5 skandha, as yesterday mentioned. When we have not understood, not see that nature, it's the samsara. All our sufferings within these 5 skandha. See, birth at the time of birth, suffering, then aging, then sickness, then death, and we don't get what we want. We get what we don't want. All are involved with this 5 skandha. I mentioned all briefly, see, we want house because of this 5 skandha. We need food because of this 5 skandha. We need car. No? All this what we need is just to feed this 5 skandha. We go through long suffering. Then at the end of the day, we have to leave this all behind, like a dream. It's a saying, a dream. Somebody found in the dreaming, somebody found a big piece of gold. And he was so happy, I found a big piece of gold. Now he's planning all he wants, building a house, buying piece of land, And all this is project, is making a lot of projects to use the gold. And after some time, somebody stolen the gold. And he was such, traumatized by that. All his project that he made now become senseless. Within that time, you wake up from the sleep, from the dream. And so, what kind of dream? So, there's no gold. There's no gold to lose, no gold to find, So our life is like that. The world, Just imagine that. And how much we go through. Well, like that to understand that, then we find there's nothing to grasp, nothing to hold on, nothing to attach, nothing to entangle in that. Purify the habit, and then we get the benefits. That's the purpose of the Dharma teaching. The direct purpose of the Dharma teaching is not just being expert in the philosophy. Sometimes we find a great lecturer give a very impressive lecture, about the Buddhist philosophy. This school believe this school believe this they believe this, then they talk about that. Very impressive, I don't know how much benefit is there. We have to get the benefit to study and practice the Dharma teaching. This is how we have to apply in our daily life. So in the Bodhicitta Avatar mentioned, first two, which I will talk later, that's fine. No need here. So we read this and then no path. So then no wisdom. Since it's mentioned, object, there's no something exists permanently or not tangible. Everything's illusory nature. That being said, is their nature is suffering. Nature is emptiness. When you see the nature as emptiness, wisdom itself is emptiness. That object is emptiness. So they're saying no wisdom. Not saying in the relative state there's nothing to know. Not saying that, not denying. In the relative, there's a lot of manifestation. We have to know all those things. But in reality, then this what we know, everything is within in the emptiness. So therefore, no attainment. See? And no non-attainment. No attainment means, first you get no attainment. Oh, you have not achieved the attainment. You have not achieved what is supposed to achieve. No attainment. I'm here saying no non-attainment. That there's nothing to achieve. Self. That's what I'm saying. So, in Tibetan. Nothing to achieve, nothing to grasp. And there's nothing is missing. Nothing is missing, nothing to miss to achieve. So Kambupa said, all the peace and happiness from nowhere. Buddha was totally enlightened. He was enlightened. So all pervasive happiness, all the happiness surrounds you, which there's nothing to see. And full sufficient realization of the ordinary mind is by the grace of the teacher who is in the Buddha's form. So yesterday we went this, like this, so get this understanding. Therefore, sometimes investigation is necessary to convince your practice. It's not just following blindly. It's not just following somebody said so. We ourselves should have the conviction, full confidence, full understanding. And then yesterday I went through like 6 parameters. So this estimation, emptiness here, what we are talking about, just to reinforce. It's not just mere empty of anything. This book is empty. This well is empty. This house is empty. Like I mentioned, the quantum physics theory, with a lot of analysis there, you find it's everything empty. A lot of debating. I'm sure you have seen all the debate. All the debate is just to establish emptiness through many draw methods. If you have not practiced, so much benefit. Our life is not that long, sure. Within this life, it's so busy. In the daytime, if you divide 10, if you can practice 1% from the 10%, still good, Sometimes we don't. Totally involved about this life. And then it's just, also we have to get the benefit. Through that, we get the peace, happiness. Through this, the suffering. Even there's a suffering, if you reflect on this, the intensity of the suffering, less, decrease, that we need. That's what Buddha talked for. Then maybe if I say one, you should say this story also, just to repeat here. How Buddha skillfully helped individuals those are so confused. And then their ego, their attachment, so ingrained in their life. So there was one man, like ruthless. He lives in the countryside. And then anybody goes through that, he takes things belonging from that individual. Or maybe he kills. So that's how he lived how he lived his life that way. And one day Buddha went through that road. There he was standing in the middle of the road. Very sharp knife. And he introduced himself to Buddha. But he doesn't know. He didn't know that it's a Buddha, some individual. So he introduced himself that I'm here waiting. Anybody going through, I rob or I kill. That's how I live my life. So then he said, now today's your turn. Now, if you have anything, I will take from you or kill you. So Buddha, without fear, just standing in front of him. The Buddha said, I have nothing to give you. I have no any belongings, possessions. And he said, I will kill you. And the Buddha said, okay, before you kill me, you see there's a tree. You bring down the leaves, branches of the tree. And so I have two questions. This is the first. And then, because he was young, strong, knife was so sharp, so he brought down all the branches. The Buddha said, oh, I'm very impressed with your skill, strength, bring down all the leaves. But then he said, what's your second question? Then Buddha said, can you put back all the leaves, branches, Then he was confused, He said, why you are doing this, asking this, bring down, put back, Buddha said, I wonder, you are so strong and famous in this area. And when you bring down the leaves, I thought you could put back as well, And then he forgot to kill Buddha. He was thinking about the question, what the Buddha asked. Little embarrassed, also because he's showing his strength, showing the strength, taking all the branches. And he said, this is strange, Then he said, why are you asking this question? Very strange, Buddha said, you should understand how many people you have killed and robbed. And people are suffering so much. You know that you're aware when you kill, people cry, beg, screaming, all these things. But you didn't care. So it's very easy to kill, rob, to harm others. But as you don't have as you don't have ability to put back the branches, likewise, you have no ability to help others. See? So then he thought about it. Yes, that's true, he said. But this is how I live my life. Then Buddha said, you see, the people just are going through so much suffering, predicament. Your whole life, when you went through this predicament, is so profound. Suppose, then Buddha said, a stronger man comes here, robs you, kills you. You have no ability to fight back because that person is stronger than you are. So what you will feel. So Buddha's skill in blessing, he totally understood. I really caused a lot of suffering. I killed many people. And I took a lot of their belongings. So Buddha said, you see, no matter how much, still you're not satisfied. Your suffering is still there. So then he was so moved. That's wrong. Now I understand what you're talking about. I didn't know this before. So that you say, just one moment before, he was, you see, totally involved in the samsaric confusion. How to make himself happy by destroying others' lives. And the second moment, he understood the reality nature, the cause of suffering for himself and for many others. That's the wisdom of the Buddha, compassion of the Buddha. You see, that's the teaching to teach us. So other day I mentioned, Buddha's teaching is not a belief, isn't that? But Buddha's teaching is a method to live our that we individually have the responsibilities. Buddha, see, otherwise you see, when he said, I will kill you, Buddha could jump up in the sky, say, so go ahead, kill me, So he has no power to kill Buddha because Buddha can fly in the sky. He can solve that problem for Buddha himself to kill, But he didn't do this. He showed the method that everybody can handle. See, sometimes you hear a lot of stories, magical, this fly, they show that magic power. It's very impressive. But we ordinary people, difficult to apply that method. We have no way how to do that. But we can see this how Buddha explained, just human to human, using the wisdom, using the compassion, using the skill. We all can do this. So all these teachings are about that. You see, our mind, you see, one moment was so angry. And that moment when you read some Dharma stranger, you see, anger is no essence. It's just conditional. You see it. I suffer. They suffer. Most times when you're angry, you don't realize how much suffering you have. Because the anger totally occupies our mind. Also, it's like attachment. Same thing, attachment, anger, aversion, pride, jealousy. It's totally occupied our mind. And we don't realize how much we're suffering. And after something, you notice this. Then Dharma teaching, when you if you have received those teachings, reflect on that, remind yourself, then this helps the mind to release all a habit, the ingrained habitual tendency is still continue. So regarding that, there's one story. Should I tell? I'm sure you have heard of, This happened in Tibet, actually, in the Katamba, in the Katamba tradition. There's a big mountain pass, people call cross pass, La. And one time, maybe like 11th, 12th century, somewhere there, very famous bandit, robber. So waiting, same as like that person I said, told you, Buddha. That big mountain or pass. Anybody who goes there, he robs, and becomes so famous. They have to go through this because there's no other way. But everybody's afraid with that. They go with the group, not individual. So one time, one old woman, she needs to go other side. Very urgent. So she, just in the morning, she got up and walked. Oh, but she has a lot of fear. Where that person is, what the bandit is. She walked. When it comes to the middle of the mountain, there's one man coming after her. But she didn't think that was the bandit. But she thought, oh, I'm so relieved. Now I have a companion, can go together, So they walked, sharing this story all the way, Then they got on the top of the mountain, and she sat on the piece of rock. It's just like she made a long breath, Oh, no, because she was tired. So she said, I'm so happy you are here, Then after some time, by the way, you have heard of that there's a famous robber in this area, And then the man said, that's me, Suddenly she got a heart attack and died there. Literally died, So then he was just shocked. People just hearing my name and they die, Literally die, How bad I am now. I live my life this way. It's not the really good way to live the life, But then he was thinking, what should I do? How should I change my life? So then he was, he made some friends that he has, and talked about these things. He said she died in front of me, by hearing my name. I'm such kind of evil person, So then they say you maybe better practice Dharma. There's some great teacher out there. Go there, meet those teachers, receive teachings, practice those. So then he attended some of their teachers and meditated, practiced. Still stealing, the habits continues. When you invite some other house, and he's looking what good things are there to steal, After some time, then people changing their mind. Oh, he become a real good practitioner. So they invite their house. And then there's one farmer. All family said to him, today you stay in our house. We are very busy to work in the farm, to harvest. And so they went there. And then he was looking around there, and there he found, during that time in Tibet, the tea is very precious, the brick tea. So he saw the brick tea. Oh, this is very good tea, He tried to take. So he remembered. Oh, there's a thief is coming in your house. Family all run, they run to him. Where's the thief? Said the thief is holding in his hand. Here, this is the thief, So like that, practicing. So after so many years, this lojong, mind training, practicing one after another. Then he went to retreat, well up in the mountain. in a cave, meditating. Yeah. So then he became very famous. Oh, that rabbi turned into a great practitioner. So local people are going to see him, to receive blessings, making offerings to him. And one day he found a group of people came, make offerings, samba, butter, meat, all this. And he said, now, just look at here now. When I was banded, even difficult to survive my life, I don't have enough food to eat. Now I'm practicing Dharma. Even I escape in the mountain, it's all coming here. How Dharma is precious. So like this, our Dharma practice is about that. We should all practice what we can in our daily life. That's the Dharma practice. To reflect on the bodhicitta, emptiness, and make our mind more workable, peaceable. But, after 11, isn't it? Excuse me. Good story. These are Dhamma teachings, These are very important. We have to, as I mentioned, the mind is very profound. Our mind is so vast. We need a lot of training. Same teaching, you can repeat and get more benefit. Like you see this short Guru Yoga that we did. If you do every day, your understanding will improve more and more, You'll be purifying the body, speech, mind, all this. So here, I will go through this. Therefore, Shariputra, since bodhisattvas have no attainment, they abide by relying on Prajnaparamita. See, by the realization of this wisdom, which totally captured the nature of the emptiness, you realize that then there's nothing to avoid, there's nothing to achieve. So that makes, what it makes is no hope and fear. See, there's nothing to achieve. You have everything, what you need. There's no outside thing to achieve. Your wisdom is within you. Your Buddha nature is within us. We just need to reveal that, realize that nature. So just there's nothing to achieve, no attainment. That no attainment is there. You have everything. It's because you have relied on the realization of the emptiness. That's it. No? They abide by the relying on Prajnaparamita. The wisdom here, now, if you look at the jewel ornament of liberation in the chapter of the 17 wisdom section, there are two wisdom. Wisdom of the samsara, wisdom of the enlightenment. See. Wisdom of the samsara, now we studying logic, we study language, we study art, engineering, no? So this you say, art, engineering is very vast. Today is in the world, it's well established. You see all this, the technologies, all the technologies are in the engineering, naturally in the art. And because of the technologies, aeroplanes, plane, car, buses, communication, and road construction, building construction, and economy, all these things, business. And in the language, school, you go to school, college, university. Everybody admire this. And then you are, like say, lawyers, they study the law based on how to debate, isn't it? See, sometimes I wonder, there's a constitution, there's a constitution, there is a law. Then why you need to debate? Go through the law, whatever set up, go according to that. Then the lawyer, they debate. Then they hire the most expensive lawyer. And so, what was totally wrong, This is very strange law, Anyway, like that, the logic, it's called logic, Brahman. All this reasoning, dialectic reasoning, is all logic. Then medicine. At all time, medicine is important. Still, the more doctors are very, medicines are expensive. So these are all in the samsara. This good of this medicine, how to heal. It's an oriental medicine, modern, the art of the language, all different types of language. Those great bodhisattvas, highly established above the ninth bhumi, they can also understand the language of the birds, animals. Have you heard of Milarepa's story? That he communicated with the dog, the deer, you know that? You don't know that. When you read it, you have 100,000 songs. It's there. One day he was on the very clear, pristine, clear. So he came out from his rock, cave, came out from his cave and sat on a big boulder rock, gazing to all the sentient beings into something. Love, patience. So while he was meditating there, then a deer was running towards him. The deer was running so far. From each hair dropping water. Full of fear. But then when the deer coming towards Milarepa, then he's gave teachings. Deer. In a brief, he said, you are suffering from hope and fear. You have such a great hope to escape your life, to free from the dog, catch you, kill you. You have such kind of fear. And you have hope to escape from the dog. Your life is in between hope and fear. I will give you teaching to free from their suffering. So deer is just rested, next to him. The deer understood what he was talking about. Because here's a wisdom, enlightened mind. It was above the 9th bhumi, 9th, 10th, 11th bhumi. And there, Miller was thinking, oh, now the dog must be coming, who's chasing this deer. Of course, soon after that, dog, like a lightning, saw past with a long tongue just coming, looking for the deer, where the deer is, And the Miller said, this is the dog which is chasing this deer. And then dog came direct to see Milarepa. But his anguish, his anger, all disappeared. Then the Milarepa said, you, the dog, you have such a great fear that deer may lose any time. And you have such great hope to catch the deer. With hope and fear, you are suffering. I will give you the teachings to free from the suffering. So both the deer and dog next to Milarepa. And a lot of pictures drawing that. You see that. That Milarepa has the ability to communicate. So this is what I'm talking about, the language. Even those great teachers, they're like Buddha can talk to all the sentient beings in their own language. No need interpretation. No need translators, okay? If there's 6 different language people speak together, when Buddha speaks one word, everybody understands. So that kind of ability Buddha has, the Bodhisattvas. Lord Jigdusopun also is communicated with the vulture. One day he's walking with the monks. The vulture was flying in the sky. And he spoke to the vulture. The vulture just laid down on the ground and meditated. And that made such great, what's called Mount of Word, went round everywhere. So all the different people coming from all the different corners of the Tibet, let's see the Lama who can talk with the vulture, who can give the instructions of the meditation, the vulture. That's why hundreds of thousands of disciples came, So that this, what I'm saying is the wisdom of the samsara. Wisdom of the nirvana, there are 2. The inferior wisdom and superior wisdom. Inferior wisdom, sharavakas, realization of the selflessness. The 5 seal. You do know the word 5 seal. Power. Ata. Okay, not 5, 4 seals. All the composite phenomena are impermanent. All the afflicted nature of the mind is all suffering. All the phenomena that exist, their nature is empty and selfless. And the real peace is nirvana. This called this 4 seal. The arhats, but the Buddha, they study them and practice. They achieve the arhat that way. Now the superior wisdom is the Bodhisattvas. They study all the phenomena. Not just selfless of person, but selfless of phenomenon. And purify every obscuration. For one's own benefit, Sharavakas are fine. Some people are just fine. They are free from samsara. They achieve the total peace. But for others' benefit, then you have to purify all the obscurations. That's how Buddha attended. So this is wisdoms that now what I'm talking about, Panchaparamita, okay? Since their minds are without obscurations, see, now the obscurations of purified Buddha. Totally purified, this gross obscuration, the subtle obscurations, totally purified. They have no fear, see. You realize emptiness. The enemies also, they are empty. The obscuration, the obstacles are also empty. When you realize it is, there's nothing to fear. Now that also you can read from Milarepa's song. When Milarepa was meditating in the mountain, he's on the way to enlightenment. Many demons and obstacles, they come together, creating obstacles to Milarepa and throwing rocks on him, like that. He has no fear. And he said, go ahead, you can throw all the rocks, mountains on me. If it is possible, you can take my life. That much you can do. But you have no ability to throw me in the hell realm. So he has no fear. Because of realization of the Mahamudra. Emptiness, The great Bodhisattvas, they go to the hell realm to help sentient beings. They have no fear. And we have so much fear. I may go to hell. What should I do? My meditation is not so good. And Bodhisattvas, they go to hell realm, help sentient beings, and we have so much fear to go in the hell realm, That's because of these teachings. That's why Buddha's teaching is not a religion. It's the method to purify the cause of suffering. That's why we should practice these Dharma teachings. Understand. In the 21st century, it becomes more important. We have more opportunity is to give this message to others. Because most people are educated, went to school, college. In all time, when there's no school, no college, difficult to give these teachings, Just chant mantra is good, That's a devotion, do some prostration, build something, it's good for you. But if you teach all these philosophies, they have no understanding. Now, people have a lot of education. So this Buddhist teaching is education. So we have more responsibility to maintain the Buddhist teaching in the world. If you don't practice, you cannot maintain. That's what, They have no fear, see? Having fully transcended the delusions, having fully transcended delusion, God. 여러분은 저리 부, 저조선 만나라 토바메 배치를 저렇게 포르치면 될라 때문에 나는 저렇게 포르치면 될라 양다봐. And since their mind is without obscurations, there's no fear. It's the dimension in the Tara supplication, seven Tara supplication, yeah. 눈치줄 한번 좀 마시고 있으면 좋거나 대단한 안치법문에 껴보세요. 맞겨와 매도 마더로 she abides 마더 따라 she abides the dharma dhatu dharma sphere 따라 abides so from there that dharma dhatu transcendental wisdom. She gives all the comfort, peace and happiness. Tara is not just a person, the mother of the Buddha, mother of the wisdom. So please protect from my all the fears. Means give me the wisdom. There's no somebody comes in and, oh, you have this suffering, I'll take this away and this. It's not that way. But to give the wisdom, as Buddha has mentioned now, today, the Buddha, the man was totally deluded, confused. Buddha gave the wisdom, and then he realized how much he confused. But he didn't have any idea that it's in mind. So one moment he was totally confused, deluded, direct cause to reborn in the hell realm. He's doing that, Just in 1 second, step in Buddha's blessing, also Buddha's wisdom, skill. He realized that. He realized how he was confused. But then he followed Buddha, became such a great practitioner. Likewise, the Angulimala, the man who killed 999, same kind of story there. That's the Buddha's wisdom, skill, and patience. Not all the magical things. All the magical things, okay. For us, everybody, same thing, The water. Even the lot of non-Buddhists who are meditating for many years, they can also show the miracle. They can fly. They have clairvoyance. The difference is wisdom, and patience, or the citta, especially. These we have to capture in our heart, bring down, practice, how we can get the benefit. This is the having fully transcended delusions. Transcended means all the delusions are nothing but empty. That's what is called in the four Dhammas of Kabupa said, the confusion dawned into wisdom. Confusion itself is nothing but wisdom. Delusion. When they attain complete nirvana. Through that, this nirvana is not Sharavaka nirvana. This is Buddha's nirvana. Means non-abiding. It's called non-abiding nirvana. They attained complete nirvana. Neither in the samsara, because all the samsaric delusions are thoroughly purified, nor in nirvana, nor just resting for themselves for their peace, but benefiting sentient beings. until the end of the samsara. Nirvana. All the Buddhas who abide in the 3 times, fully awakened to unsurpassable, completely perfect enlightenment by relying on Vajraparamita. The Vajraparamita is the one. And all the Buddhas of 3 times, past, present, future, they study, they practice, they become Buddha. Perfect. As other dimension, a lot of belief systems are changed during this, especially when there's involved science, scientific theories when they come. Lot of belief systems have changed. Buddha's teaching has become more powerful, richer, more difficult to understand. You see, you understand. We really have to make effort with this. Buddha's teaching, how Buddha taught. We should make more obvious, clear in the public. Not to compete anybody, but to help. The sentient beings are suffering so much. Mentally suffering so much. A lot of confusions there. We need that kind of ability. We, those who well following, study, practice. In other words, we become better person, better human beings, more civilized, not harming others. The Buddha said, if you cannot help, then don't harm others. There's only 2 things. If you cannot help, don't harm. How precious this is. Buddha said, don't do this, don't do this, like 5 precepts, all this, don't do 10 non-virtues, don't do this, no. Said, don't do this. Then after that, do this, practice generosity, practice morality, practice patience, do this, cultivate loving kindness, cultivate compassion, cultivate wisdom, bodhicitta, all these things, no? So in other words, don't do this is prescribed. The word prescribed, prescription, prescribed all the non-virtuous thoughts and action, prescribed. And all what the Buddha asked to do is prescribed, prescription. Yes, Lord Chaitanya now said that. The prescription is prescription forever, is prescribed. Prescription is forever, you have to avoid. It's prescribed. Never repeat again, When some scholar heard of this word, it's very strange, they said. they even great scholars, they have not understood that, because they haven't heard of that. Gyaltsen, who enlightened in this life, and he saw it directly when he studied Buddha's teaching, Vinaya, when he studied, he totally then convinced about the Buddha's teaching, how Buddha was the great, compassionate, with wisdom, and taught these teachings to the followers. How precious this is. So he put emphasis on this. And Buddha's teaching is not just only for Buddhists. Buddha's teachings for every sentient beings, every mother sentient beings. We respect not only just Buddhists, but non-Buddhists, non-follower, non-believers. Respect every sentient being. So some people said, maybe you have heard of, oh, Jigten Sungpa teachings are very controversial, they say. Those who have not realized they themselves a controversial person, and they make the controversial, And not the Jigten Sungpa's teaching is controversial, We have done well. How was it? Good? I think these teachings so important we reflect on this modern 21st century. Now, this day, 21st century, how relevant the teaching is. We have about 10 minutes. Do you have any questions? You like the stories? Yeah, I'm coming this afternoon. Yes. That is coming. If you have other questions from yesterday. Yes, that's good. You can ask here what. First of all, dedication prayer. There's one book. You got this Diamond Rosary. In that, I have explained of those dedication prayers there. Yeah. Okay, there. Therefore, these things, for the things there, those are there in I described there.
Okay.
I'm sure you may ask, what are the 4 causes of samsara,
So one line says, may it not result in the 8 worldly concerns and the 4 causes of samsara.
Yes,
This is in this.
precisely described in that book, yes.
Okay.
I thought that you will ask that question.
Omniscience.
Other than that, do you have any other?
Rinpoche, you mentioned that the 2 lines, one about the Buddha being the fully accomplished being, and
Yes.
then the Dharma being the actual protector.
Yes.
Could you repeat a little bit, and where those are from?
To achieve that complete protection, complete perfection, the Dharma is the one that we study practice.
Right.
That will help us to achieve that state. That's why Dharma is a protector.
Right.
Yes.
Where is that text, the original text for the lines that you recited?
That's what we say. Dompa Lame
Dompa Lame
Sangye
Sangye
Rinpoche.
Rinpoche, yes.
Gyopa Lame Tamjo Rinpoche. Dempa Lame Kindu Rinpoche. Yamne Kunjo Suma Chababe. You have that. I'm sure here maybe it's sometimes. Yes. All time we make offering, Dompa Lame Sangye Rinpoche. Yeah. You remember that now? Yeah, that one. Yes.
Thank you. Yes. Just to clarify, thank you.
Yeah. See, you found there. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you.
Yes.
My question is,
Maybe you can take off this. I can hear better.
yeah. My question is maybe how to practice emptiness as a layperson or dealing with afflictive emotions, maybe at work or with
Mm.
your family? Just any general advice.
Yeah, that is, first of all, as here mentioned, the five skandha. See, yesterday I mentioned a few times. This is our body. This is it. It's the form, body. With this body, then I have feeling. I'm feeling good, not feeling good. All these things I have. And I have perception. I perceive this is all these things, good or bad, big or small, color, different types of color, different types of shape. I perceive, perception. Formation, relationship to this, then formation is the activities of creating karma and consciousness. So these are the five skandha. So I thought you would say this afternoon, but you can say this in the Bodhisattva Avatar mentioned. First, you just look at your body, investigate. First, look at the skin. Say, skin. Underneath the skin, flesh, blood, nerve systems. Underneath that, bone. Inside the bone marrow. Then you investigate bone marrow, nothing. So what's the essence there? You yourself say, investigate that. There's nothing to attach to. That shows is how emptiness is. Since everything's impermanent, that impermanence itself proves its emptiness. So the cause of impermanence is emptiness. Changing, no? But we start right now, our mind is not that subtle. We don't have the sharp meditative concentration. Samadhi don't have that. So first you get the rough of the impermanence. I was born. Oh, yeah, I will die one day. It's gross impermanent, reflecting. Yes, I will die one day. Then you narrow that gap. 1 year pass. From today, I'm getting older, you know. And after that, 1 month pass. I'm getting older, you know. And so 1 week pass. 1 day pass. Then morning, afternoon, evening. I used to look at this, 1 hour, 5 minutes, 1 minute, 1 second. You see like that? And then what's there in between? Nothing. Emptiness. This emptiness through the intellectual. No, we just improve that and prove that how this emptiness is. Through this impermanence, you will realize the emptiness. See? Okay.
Can I ask a follow-up question? Do you think that there's ever a right opportunity to use wrath or anger when you want to
What?
deal with someone?
Right?
Like wrath or like a wrathful deity or like,
Wrathful deity is what?
or like, do you think it's ever okay to use?
What about that?
Is it okay to use wrath or anger sometimes? When dealing
There's
with people?
no justice about that. Anger is anger. Okay. No justification there. Anger is anger. Sometimes you're being so wrathful, you die, you're born a ghost as a wrathful ghost. So be careful. That's why Bodhisattva is taught at first. Before you practice wrathful deities, as you say, at least you say, Ma Nangba Danya Be Semje Tamje Dewa. You say that, you see, Why do you think this? Okay. Now we will say some education. First, you just say, just reflect, okay, relax your mind. Just bring down here yourself where you are and reflect this morning, what we went through. Some stories, okay, and some of those explanation of the teachings from the Heart Sutra, and how much benefit you got. Reflect on that. If those what I talked about, if it doesn't make sense, let go. Don't attach to it. If it makes sense, just appreciate, rejoice, bring in your heart, meditate. I will apply in my daily practice. This is the Buddha's wisdom. Just see that, understand that, Buddha's wisdom. And then you appreciate, I have this precious human life. Because of this, I got this opportunity to study, reflect the wisdom of Buddha. I'm so fortunate. Before you lost it, you store into your treasure box. Okay. Just relax. And inhale, okay. Breathe in fully. And exhale all the stress. Just relax. And with this mind, we say this dedication prayer. Usually, all the dedication prayers here, I saw it in this. But since we're familiar to this, we just say from here, page 70.
Glorious, holy, venerable, precious, kind root and lineage lamas, divine assembly of yidams and assemblies of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Viras, Varinis, Yoginis, and Dakinis dwelling in the 10 directions. Please hear my prayer. May all the virtues collected in the 3 times by myself and all in samsara and nirvana, and the innate root of virtue not result in the 8 worldly concerns, the 4 causes of samsara, or ripen as the state of a Shravaka or a Pratyeka Buddha. May all mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me and mine, obstructors who harm, Maras who mislead, and the hordes of demons, experience happiness, be separated from suffering, but swiftly attain unsurpassed, completely perfected, precious Buddhahood. The power of this vast root of virtue, may I benefit all beings through my body, speech, and mind. May the afflictions of desire, hatred, ignorance, arrogance, and jealousy not arise in my mind. May concern about fame, reputation, wealth, and honor in this life not arise for even a moment. Mind stream be moistened by loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta. Through that, may I become a spiritual master with good qualities equal to the infinity of space. May I gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra in this very life. At the time of death, may the suffering of severing the life channel not arise. May I die with negative thoughts. May I not die confused by wrong view. May I not experience an untimely death. May I die joyfully and happily in the great luminosity of mind as such and the pervading clarity of Dharmata. May I in any case gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra at the time of death or in the bardo.